The journey of success is a quest you must invest. Your best you must test on the path of no rest. Life's not a guess, it's a training ground test full of stressors and pressures that make you much better. Growth and development, the lively stellar sentiment, express spark and relevance, seeking passion in its essence. The quest dark set that's full of light and luminescence. Knowledge is the way, while wise is domain. Solar rays is the wave at heights you must embrace. Saving grace is the pace on the marathon race. Duality, polarity we all must face. Respecting the seasons is a reason we must taste. Elevation is the purpose and the essence of the verses. Willpower is the vision that leads to your ambition. Moving in your mission, that's the right decision. The condition of cognition leads to your commission. Come on, my brothers and sisters, light it up. Let's go. Yo, banging on the beat, breaking the concrete, defeating demons. Yo, banging on the beat, breaking the concrete, defeating demons on a daily basis. Glowing radiance, raising the consciousness to the most high status. Lumin lyrical brightness, supreme natural intelligence. There's no coincidence that I'm rocking. Feeding the knowledge to the masses. Vets and youth, always speak the fire of truth. Wisdom, life is about growth or development. So build your light for the tests in life. Never give up, never let up. That's what's up, you know what time it is. So push forward, elevate your mind in the sun and rise.
Yeah, check it, listen, coming through on your bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimals, mathematical root radicals. So receive this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth. Preach, teach, the fire of truth.
Just levitate, levitate, keep your head straight. Just levitate, levitate. Even if the world is so cold, we just levitate, levitate. Set these lies.
Alright, my brothers and sisters. Divine Wellness Elevation. Rise and shine. And welcome back to another Supreme Natural Intelligence, Sacred Culture, Live Blaze. We back in the sanctuary again for part 3 regarding the 33 hidden laws of self-mastery. So we're going to be continuing where we left off. We left off at part 8. So let's get to that slide right now and get right to the matter at hand, because you know you got to listen razor closely and razor sharply, because we're about to hit that knowledge and wisdom that is going to enlighten your world, your mental domain, into new levels and planes of existence, into self-sovereignty, governing and regulating yourself, your energy and motion, so you become an adept. You know what time it is? Let's hit that colossal, jaggernautic monstrosity, grand slammer home run, bringing all this knowledge and wisdom all the way. And that is fire of truth. Alright, let's get the show on the road with this live blaze. The first one we covered, attention becomes identity. Repetition becomes character. Emotion follows meaning. Meaning can be changed And in the second partition of the lab lays, we covered discipline beats mood every single time. Comfort can weaken growth. Truth removes confusion. Avoidance grows fear. So now we're going to be starting off the spark on number 9. Action reduces anxiety. So the main reason that action reduces anxiety, this is a part of self-mastery. Action is the principal thing in life. In order for you to make things happen and manifest and make it come to fruition, you have to take action according to your thoughts, intentions, concepts, and ideas, goals, and your endeavors. Otherwise, it will never come into being if you don't take action. And the reason why anxiety takes place in a lot of people, because they're full of fear, doubt, and insecurity. And in order to relieve these things, diminish the anxiety, nervousness that is within you, mentally and physically, you have to take action. You got to put in work. You got to put things to the test. After a certain point of doing exhaustive research, exhaustive education, holding all that information in your head like a library is of no force and effect in your life, and it's only going to bring you anxiety if you don't let it out and apply it and live it out. So you got to put your plans in motion, put your strategies and your tactics in action like the military does when they're gathering intelligence. Information is supposed to internally form and shape you into action. This is why action reduces anxiety. Let's get to the slide. Anxiety feeds on uncertainty and inertia. So in order to make your plans come into effect from your cause, which is your plan, your strategy and tactics, you got to take action. This is going to help you relieve your nervousness, your anxiety, your uncertainty, your insecurity and doubts. You got to live it out and you got to experience how this is going to work in live dynamical radical action. Anxiety feeds on uncertainty and inertia. So you got to relieve this. You got to diminish this negative emotion by depleting it out of your system by taking action, and develop confidence and conviction in your plans, strategies, tactics, your goals, and your endeavors. Action creates information that you could measure, that you could gauge, that you could see how effective it is, how efficient it is. You could see the results and outcome. It creates momentum. It allows you to emanate the overstorage of the energy that is building up in your body and your mind based on your ideas, concepts, goals, and endeavors. So in order to release that out of your system so you're not overly stressing yourself and you're not full of nervousness, anxiety, uncertainty, and doubt and fear, you have to do something about it. You got to take action. You got to move in motion. And the evidence and the results shows the capability of that result that you're about to do. So evidence of the capability, you got to do it to see what results it's going to give you. Even if your plan, strategy, and tactic is imperfect, movement often lowers the friction within you. You have a lot of people have hesitation with their plans. So they delay, and then they make so many excuses. We talked about the other day about excuses that they never actually do anything about it, and take their plans into live dynamical radical action. So you have to take action. You have to do something sometime. You cannot keep delaying and look for the perfect situation, because the perfect situation will never come exactly the way you want it. You have to make moves and take action. Even if you make mistakes during the process, it doesn't matter. Learn the lessons, gain the experience, and then modify and adapt your plans and make sure you keep what is useful and valuable and discard and cut what is not. That's a part of the purpose of life. That's a part of growth and development. That's a part of experience, gaining the wisdom. You cut and discard what is not useful, what is not helpful, what is not assistive in your life, and you apply to things at work. You gather more information, gather more intelligence, like the military, and then you take action accordingly. Let's move to the next slide. Number 10 of self-mastery. Speech programs your thoughts. Speech programs your thoughts. Your words have power, my brothers and sisters. Words have power. And the seed of words is what? Thoughts. Words become organized into speech, and that speech begins to crystallize in the world as you project what you're saying to yourself and out loud, and that allows the molecules to begin to condense and crystallize into shaping and forming as you are taking action through your imagination. Image in action. Imagination. Image in action. Speech programs your thoughts. So you gotta instill within yourself the necessary programs that are constructive interference as you're building and constructing your goals, endeavors, and live dynamical radical action. Your language influences perception. So it's all about perceptual awareness. You have to organize your thoughts in structure and order and make it manifest by performing them in live dynamical radical action. Speech is the initial phase of it. Your thoughts, then it goes to speech when you say it vocally through your frequency and vibration to further strengthen and add power to it. And you further add more power when you further condense and crystallize it into a written plan through pencil and paper. The lead, as you're writing your plan out, and as you're following your disciplined, structured, and ordered plan, you are creating the alchemizing effect. You're creating the motion, the alchemical effect, through the chemistry of your thoughts, your words, your intentions, actions, imaginations, is all coming together to alchemize into gold. As long as you remain consistent, things will happen. And you will have to troubleshoot along the way because you won't know everything off the jump. But at the end of the day, you got to put it in motion in order for it to manifest your goals and your endeavors, your plans, your strategies and tactics. You got to put in work and put it in action to alchemize your world. That's how you project things. You have to take action. You can't just sit there and think, oh, this and that, I affirm this and that. That's not enough. That's part of the equation. That's only half the equation. We live in a physical world, so you have to take physical action as well and do something. So when you do this action, speech programs thoughts. You have to keep in mind, constructive interference is what you want. Destructive interference is what you don't want. You do not want to emphasize thoughts, words, and speech of destructive interference, because that's only could prevent you. That's only going to prevent your progress in life. Instead of focusing on destructive interference of failure and loss, I can'ts, those are just lame excuses. You can do it. We covered the other day in the first part, repetition is the mother and father of learning and skills. So get them skills instilled in every cell, neuron pathway, dendrite, axon, synapses within your whole physiology, so it becomes second nature automatically. You develop your skills. When you learn, you earn, you know, you grow. That's how you must flow in life, my brothers and sisters. Instead of focusing on a negative construct, destructive interference with your speech and your thoughts, focus on constructive interference that is going to build you up and give you the motivation to progress. I'm learning consistency. I'm building my plan. Speech is the mental architecture of the construction buildings that you are putting together. Your thoughts and your speech is the architecture. It is the blueprint that you are drawing up. So you got to make sure that your architecture with your plans is solid. You know what time it is, my brothers and sisters. Let's go to part 11 of the self-mastery portion here. Another major important part of self-mastery, my brothers and sisters. Environment shapes your behavior. Environment shapes your behavior. And I think this is the last one we're going to cover for today. I don't want to make the video too long. I want to make it digestible and make it easily absorbable, and you don't get tired out from watching an excessively long video. So this is the one. This is where we're going to end off here at 11:1:1, the gateway. Let's go. Environment shapes behavior. So you become who you have within your cipher of life. What do I mean? You become who you have within your cipher of life when it comes to persons, places, and things. Environment shapes your behavior. Have you heard of the common saying, you become alike to your top 5 friends? You take on their habits, it rubs off on you. So if you're around a lot of people that are always focused on the negative, that are always focusing on average performances, that's what you're going to be. That's what you're going to become. Your environment shapes your behavior. What is in the environment? We're talking about people, places, and things. And those things are going to dictate how your life goes on average scale. Everything around you is going to rub off on you. And in majority of cases, probably 99% of people will easily get influenced by their environment. There's very few people on the planet who has the willpower to overcome their environment and prevent their environment, people, places, and things from influencing them. So you got to make sure your environment is conducive and conductive for your constructive interference, for your growth and development and progress in life. You want to have people who are at a higher stage than you in life based on similarities, similar goals and endeavors that you want to get into. You want to get people around you that knows more than you, that has more experience than you, that is better than you in general. Because how are you going to grow? How are you going to accelerate your growth and development if you're not going and getting advice and competing against people that are better than you? How are you going to accelerate your growth? You don't necessarily need people to do that. You could compete. You could focus on yourself and compete against yourself. You could still grow that way. But if you want to accelerate your growth, it's better that you compete. This is the righteous way of using competition. You compete with others to help accelerate your growth. But you don't have to compete. You could compete with yourself. Just be better than you were yesterday. Ultimately, life is about growth and development. That's the essence. But in order for you to make your goals and endeavors happen, you got to hang around with people that are in a higher position than you. A higher position than you. That are skillful in areas that you want to get skilled in. Remember, you got to master your weaknesses. You got to overcome fear by confronting the fear, facing the fear. Overcome your fear, insecurities, uncertainties, and doubts. Overcome your 7 deadly sins. Sloth, lust, greed, gluttony, wrath, envy, pride. These are the disruptors, the dividers that slow your progress in life. And you have to operate honestly with yourself in truth, justice, balance, order, harmony, reciprocity, and propriety. You got to operate in your sovereignhood. You got to move in wisdom. So environment shapes behavior. Willpower matters, but context matters more than many admit. And the context is referring to the environment. Because those people that you're always around are programming you on a daily basis. The people, the places, and the things that you are functioning and operating in your life are programming you non-stop. So if your willpower to be accomplished and successful with your goals and endeavors cannot override the destructive interference, if that's what you're around, then you are gonna fail. Your willpower has to be stronger than that. Otherwise, if you don't have the willpower to overcome the people, places, and things in your environment, you gotta let go of those people, places, and things and find your vibration and frequency that's gonna assist you in becoming a better version of yourself. So environment shapes behavior. Willpower matters, but context matters more than many admit. Environment includes people, noise, food availability. So food is essential because it's the fuel of your body. You got to make sure you're eating clean. You got to eat right, to think right, to know right. That's how you live right. When you eat right, you will think right, you will know right. That's how you live right. When you eat right, you will think right, you will know right. That's how you live right. When you live right, you know right, you'll think right. That's how you eat right. So people, noise, food availability, device access, room design. So you got to make sure your room has good feng shui, good energy flow, positive energy flow that allows you to feel comfortable and relaxed, motivated on a constant basis, energetic, full of consistency and tenacity and persistence, full of perseverance, confidence and conviction, that will amplify your willpower, your ambition to move forward, to push forward, and elevate your mind on the sun and rise. Good environments reduce resistance in your life. Good environments reduce resistance in life. You know what time it is? Sun raising your consciousness with confidence. Sacred culture. Divine universal order. Proactive balance. Wake up. You know what time it is? Enlighten your world. Stay tuned on part 4 coming. That'll be scheduled on Supreme Natural Intelligence Sacred Culture channel. Like the video, of course. Subscribe, share it, and spread it across the globe. Let's rise and raise the mastery in the masses of self. We got to raise the consciousness and enlighten the people so they can do better in their life. Let's go. So stay tuned for more videos coming up. We got a lot of videos to do, my brothers and sisters. Stay tuned. So my brothers and sisters, enjoy the rest of your evening and continue to watch these videos in repetition, because you need to really instill these teachings and lessons within you to enforce growth and development within you. Because a lot of people are lazy. They don't want to take accountability. They don't want to face their shadow self. And you need to do that. You need to sit in silence. You need to self-reflect. And you need to figure out how to put your strategies of your plans, your goals and endeavors in live dynamical radical action, and start making sure you make incremental steps every single day. That's what you got to do on a daily, my brothers and sisters, to make changes in your life. In order for things to change, you got to change yourself now. Now is navigating our operational wisdom. Navigate operational wisdom by experiencing, applying the knowledge, informing yourself in action, information, gathering the intelligence, and making modifications, and actually putting it to the test and see how the results come out so it benefits you. This is what it's about. The power of symbols right here. Knowledge of self. You got to audit your mind. You got to know who you are. You got to know your vision. You got to know your purpose. You know what time it is. Rise and shine. Light it up. Yo, banging on the beat, breaking the concrete, defeating demons on a daily basis, glowing radiance, raising the consciousness to the most high status, lumen lyrical brightness, supreme natural intelligence. There's no coincidence that I'm rocking, feeding the knowledge to the masses. Vets and youth always speak the fire of truth, wisdom. Life is about growth or development, so build your light for the tests in life. Never give up, never let up. That's what's up. You know what time it is. So push forward, elevate your mind on the sun and rise.
Yeah, check it, listen, coming through, fire bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimal of mathematical root radicals. So receive this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth. Preach, teach, The fire of truth.
We just levitate, levitate. Keep your head straight. Just levitate, levitate. Even if the world is so cold, we just levitate, levitate. Set these lies.
What? Slow motion this side.
So why would he change it?
Well, my locks up, hands are fit clean and your alright, this them fi know.